So make sure we get something in.
All right. All
We're
right.
live at this moment.
We are live, everyone. So better doctor as soon as she's on and ready. Once everything's settled down at home, she'll come on. And this person that's going to be doing our MC, she's from Oklahoma. So just to show you the wide variety of different folks that are going to be on tonight.
Well, it's coming. That'll work. Whenever you're ready, you can hit a DACA.
Thank you. All right. Can y'all hear me?
Here we go, folks.
All right. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, it's really windy here. Windy in here in Oklahoma. Just kidding. But yes, welcome all of my dear friends and relatives to another wonderful Monday evening with Good Medicine Way. Tonight we're gathered with some of our dear relatives from our Native Intervarsity clan. Just kidding. Our Native Intervarsity band. Just kidding. But yes, we have some very special guests on tonight. They're going to be talking about the Listen Project, which is not something I was able to participate in, but I've heard a lot of great things about it. So, but Good Medicine Way comes to you from the land of the Tiwa people or the Pueblo people. It's also the stomping grounds for the Dene and the Apache people. My name is Upiti Daka, which means white star in the Pawnee language. I come to you from the ancestral homelands of the Caddo, Comanche, Kiowa, Osage, and Wichita nations here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Hey, but yes, but yeah, so just as we start many gatherings within our traditional ceremonials or like our general meetings that we have with our people, we'd like to start off with an opening prayer. So I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to my brother Eshe from South Carolina, to render us an opening prayer or directional prayer. So go ahead and take it away, brother.
No, gosh, thank you. I just want to ground us in some breathing real quick. Came upon a quote today that I was reminded of that basically says that, I think it was Willard, I forget his first name, but he said the great enemy of spiritual or the spiritual life is hurry. And so I want us to just ground ourselves in patience and in peace, so we can breathe and just center ourselves in the flow of the rhythm of the sun and of this gathering. So we'll do some 4 deep breaths and then we'll get into our prayer. So we're going to start, as we always do, in the east, and then we'll move to the south, the west, the north, and we'll close the prayer. O Creator, maker of all that is, and who has always been, may the rising sun remind us of you who gives us great wisdom and strength. Help us, your people, as we walk your sacred path in life, that our generations to come will have light as they walk your path. For the rays of the rising sun and fire in the east, not the Oshehao. Thank you, Creator. Facing south. Creator of the setting sun, we send our voices to you. We pray, Great Spirit, that our journey through life may know the harmony and rhythm of the sun. We pray that we may look longingly towards our sunset in life and feel your greatness and beauty within us. for the sun's brilliance as it sets in the west, and for our mother, the earth. Thank you, giver of life. Now facing north. Great One, our eyes are turned towards you, where you speak to us from the north. You are the power over the harshness of our lives, stormy winds and great drought. You are the one who calms our fears and our anxieties. Give us strength and courage to walk the strong winds in life by walking with you. For the protection that you provide us and for the air we breathe, we thank you, Creator. You know what? I think I skipped one, but we'll do it on this one. So I just did the west. We're gonna go to the north. Great. Oh, good Creator, you send us soft winds and rains. May goodness always be in our hearts and gentleness in our speech. We are reminded of the things that make us happy in this life, friends, family, and you. Oh, great power and source of all life, help us to walk with you always. For the soft winds and rains and waters that come from the south. Thank you, our former and maker. Oh, let it be so.
All right, thank you for that, brother. That was very beautiful. It's all right. We got a little lost. Creator was showing us the way. Hey. Um, okay, so we will be going into a few opening songs, and we're going to get to hear many of our dear relatives there singing around the drum. So I'm very excited about this. We're going to hear a lot more singing than we normally do. But yes, I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Brian so that way he can to lead us through the opening songs. So go ahead and take it away, Brian.
Yeah, we're getting everybody around the drum. Two more. Let me get the words up here real quick. We're gonna do 3 songs. We're gonna do the Good Medicine Way song that Danny Zacharias wrote for us. Okay. And then we're gonna do River of Life by Jonathan Miracle. And then we're gonna end with a round dance, a lift you up round dance.
Outside of your leg. Can't keep it in keep the edge of it. Join us.
One more spot.
When bowing tone.
So on this first song, the only tricky bit is in the whoa parts there that are kind of like the chorus. So it'll be like a whoa, and I'll go whoa. Yeah, and if you guys can really be loud on the whoas, because then I can save mine. Then I can save my voice for the.
And the last one, see how it goes. You gotta hang it.
Yeah.
Hold that note out.
Yeah, that's mostly me.
Nobody pass out though.
But I can't really do it unless I can count on you guys to sing the whoa. But anyway, we'll start with side sticks.
Yeah.
Wake-ya, hey-ya, ho. Wake-ya, hey-ya, ho. Wake-ya, hey-ya, hey. Wake-ya, hey-ya, ho. 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 Wake-ya. The Father said, go medicine, the good medicine. The Father said, go medicine, the good medicine. It's good medicine, the good medicine way. It's good medicine, the good medicine way. Wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands. The spirit is good medicine, the good medicine way. The spirit is good medicine, the good. Wave your hands. Wave your hands. The good same way.
You gotta buy pizza? You gotta buy pizza.
All right, real quick, Brian.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian. It's auto muting you again.
All right, let me.
Cutting out. We couldn't hear you guys.
All right. Okay, I think I fixed that.
Now hear the next song.
Yeah.
It was good.
See, good thing we're doing multiple songs.
It went perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're supposed to sing along.
It was so awesome.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was so good. We thought we'd take it on the road.
All right. It should work. If it starts doing it again in Petadaka, just give me a big yell so I hear you, and we'll figure it out. But it should be working now. Okay. This one starts with a rumble. Hi-oh, hi.
features next to
All right, so this one's a round dance, which is just the double beat. So you should catch on. But it's the double beat's not actually on the one if you're counting it in 4 because it's actually in 6/8. But you don't have to worry about all that. Just kind of keep the double beat going. You guys can dance if you want.
Good job, guys. Really good.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Takes y'all got to start somewhere. You get the blanket. And we'll put it, cover it, and we'll.
Hey, yes, y'all did a great job. Hey. It was great to see everybody dancing in the background too. Eh? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Native Intervarsity family and Good Medicine Way family for singing those 3 great songs. Luckily, we were able to hear the last 2. But yes. All right, so while everybody's getting seated again and everybody's getting situated in person, I do have a joke for y'all, So, I usually say this one occasionally, but there was a group of Dene people who were heading to Denver. They saw a sign that said Denver left, so they turned around and went home. But I'm just kidding. I pick on the Dene because I see my brother Broshan sitting there, So, okay, we're going to be going into a creation insight moment. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to ask anybody right away to fulfill this duty. So I'm gonna call on someone on the spot. Someone I just teased a second ago. I want to ask my brother, Bro Sean, to offer us a little story, a little verse or something, or whatever creator has been telling you to tell all of us. I'd like to call on you to speak our creation insights. So go ahead and take it away, brother.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I think maybe one story to share is. You're good. Okay, yeah, one story to share. I think from just going on listen is that how I think wake up in the morning we've been waking up in the morning a lot, and I think we just always invite people to pray in the morning and to know that we will always be grateful of Creator. And I think one thing throughout our drive is that Heaven and I we will go to drive together, and we always see like a hawk always, I think every day. And I think it was something that it always shows not only like, I guess, like good luck, but also like just a good sign that just to know that to see that, and also to always just always embrace creation, of how Creator is always speaking to us, is that every day is going to be good. When we see throughout our travels, and especially going to Hopi, I think we just saw like I thought it was a falcon, or I thought it was an eagle, but it was a hawk that was like right almost close to the site, going to Hopi, and I felt like it was waiting for us, and telling us that it's gonna be good just for us to be there. So that's one thing I just want to share about that we always know that seeing a hawk is always a good sign, and it shows us that Creator's telling us that it's going to be a good day.
When you were sharing about that, I thought about reservation dogs. When she saw an eagle, and then I was like, I think that's a buzzard. But yes, it's very good to hear about our hawk relatives. I always have a lot of hawks around my area too. I just be like, hi. Send your little special blessing down, eh? But yes, thank you, Bro Sean, for letting me put you on the spot like that. And that was a very good share, eh? Especially since we got to hear a little bit about heaven too, eh? Our sister Heaven is there in person, so I'm very excited to see that, eh? But yeah, okay. So next we will be going into the Lord's Prayer from the First Nations version. I will go ahead and hand this on over to Brian, so that way he can lead us in that, and hopefully we can keep up with the sign language. Eh? But yeah, go ahead and take it away, Brian.
All right, let me get the words out. And yeah, if you remember any of the sign language, go ahead and pass it in. I have to find out from Maku if the schedules. She got some work stuff that she does a lot of freelance work, and so she's doing like lessons and stuff on Mondays now. So she's not able to make it. But we'll see if she has an open one sometime. But anyway, here we go. Creator sets free, shows us how to pray. O great Spirit, our Father from above, we honor your name as sacred and holy. Bring your good road to us, where the beauty of your ways in the spirit world above is reflected in the earth below. Provide for us day by day the elk, the buffalo, the salmon, the corn, the squash, and the wild rice, all the things we need for each day. Release us from the things we have done wrong. In the same way, we release others who have done wrong to us. Guide us away from the things that tempt us to stray from your good road, and set us free from the evil one and his worthless ways. Aho, may it be so. Amen.
All right, yes, that was looking good, sounding good. Eh? Pretty soon we'll have our Native Intervarsity relatives be able to do that with us. I hope. May it be so. Eh? But yes, all right. Now we get into our announcements time, which we call smoke signals time, eh? For those of you who think about the movie Smoke Signals, eh? But in the old days, gathering around a home fire with our blankets and anything that we would use to make the smoke rise higher, that was how we were able to communicate between our villages, our bands, our clans, however you want to say it. So like, yeah, back in the day, that's how we made our announcements. So we, in that same way, we're here in Good Medicine Way. Doing our announcements time. So I'm going to hand this over to Uncle Casey to guide our smoke signals time. So go ahead and take it away, Uncle.
All right, thank you very much. Well, the first one is tomorrow night, we have our men's book group. I shouldn't say men's group, but it's all men right now. No, I'm sorry, Donna's been on there. So it's an all hands on deck gathering. So we got men, women, whoever wants to be on. We're reading the book Native by Caitlin Curtis. It's called Identity, Belonging, and Discovering God. So that's be tomorrow night at 6:30. You can join us by going onto the website, to the Facebook page, click on it, and it'll go down to a link where you can connect with us live and share with us on that. Tonight we have our InterVarsity group. Tonight we have our InterVarsity group. Tonight and tonight, now I can hear myself. Here we go. Yeah, they're traveling the Southwest here. They're going to be sharing with us tonight about what what Listen does and how it's affecting the lives of the people that they're with, the students that are with them, and their guests as well. Hopefully they'll share a little bit here because I was coaching them over there on the table on what to say a little bit here. So they're all ready to come on up here and share and give a good positive boost for these guys that have been putting this on for a couple of years now. So that's going to happen tomorrow. Wednesday night we have the women. Then this is a women's group.
Yeah, Christina, looks like Christina's not on tonight. So the women's group meets on Thursday nights. It's an online meeting. We'll post the link for that on our Facebook page. And they're going through Kate Armas's Sacred Belonging. So it's a book that's kind of set up devotional style. So they usually read the section right there in the group. So if you don't have the book or you haven't been participating, it's okay. You can just jump in and join them. So that's an online meeting on Thursdays at 7, and you can get the information off the Facebook page.
All right. And just to double check, Eshe, you're on for the 24th, right? Yes, no, yeah, because I got you and Helen mixed up there. So we're going to have Helen on the 1st, and then we're going to have Eshe on the 24th here coming up. So that happens.
Right.
Yeah.
So hear from our virtual crowd. That's
yeah,
awesome. 2 weeks in a row.
I know, all the way from Stonehenge too. Very good. I love your background. I tell people when they say, I want to change my background, I go like this. I would change it again. So that's how I change my background. So, okay. Enough seriousness here. So with those two speakers coming up, we're going to be taking a break because this summer we got lots going on. I have 2 trips coming up, so we're going to take in July the 8th, the 15th, and the 22nd off. So kind of give you time to spend on your travels with family, do what you need to do, and you come back already fresh. We'll come back on the 29th here, and that's the 5th Monday So that's the time when we usually do a prayer time. So come ready with your prayers, with whatever's on your heart and your mind. We usually do the service kind of like you regularly do, but when it comes to the prayer time, we don't record that time, so it's not shared out there. So you can speak openly, mostly with just the group here and those that are on. So just to let you know that, so you can share your heart during that time. I talked with Jonathan Miracle, and we're trying to get some things planned up for the end of September. We got 3 other ministries in the area. We got the BIC Mission and the Kirkland area too, with Jason Oberhauser, and then also with Rob McIntosh and Gallup. Those 3 also want to share in with Jonathan when he comes out, so we'll have a tour like we did a few years ago, where we drive him here and drive him there. And this year, the BIC Mission has volunteered their vehicles. They have some good vehicles, van that they can loan us so that we can shuttle them around, because they bring their drum sets and they bring all their instruments that they need. And hopefully we'll be able to bring Jonathan and Bill Pagrin down. So it'll be quite an experience. So pray about that. We're going to be taking some love offerings to build that fund up so that we can bring them down here. And those other ministries are going to share the expenses with that too. So that's what's happening. Anything else? Anybody else got something? All right. Okay. Well, that's all we got for right now. We'll go into our giveaway time. It's the time when we do our give of our resources. And did I bring a blanket up? Okay. We usually do a blanket song. So blanket song or a flute song that we'll put a blanket in the middle of the floor, and then gives a chance for you to give towards the ministry here. Brian will be putting up a QR code blanket that we put up so that people online can snap a picture and give. And a lot of people have been giving with that QR code, and we appreciate that. So everything that comes in. And we do have some announcements that we'll clarify in the future here, but we have been given a matching grant that, along with 3 other ministries here, $75,000 matching grant. So as much as we can raise, and personally with funders and donors, whatever we do to raise the money, that grant will match whatever we can put in. So if we raise $20,000, $30,000, wow, we can get a double whammy there, and have all kinds of activities here. So pray about that. And we've got a meeting coming up to where we're going to talk about, they're going to extend our time with New Church Development for an extended period of time for 6 to 10 years. So because one of the reasons for that is that in this kind of mission setting, it's harder for churches to get started when they're not coming from a regular church plant. And I was trying to explain to some folks about a regular church plant is people from a church want to start a ministry, so they raise up and they say, we want to start. So they branch off and they bring a few people from the congregation to go with them. So they go to start a church plant. And usually what happens in that kind of occasion, they're usually in the white Western model. And so they move into another setting, and then people usually, from my study, is people like to follow the hot church in town. So when they're bored with their church and there's a new thing starting, they kind of gravitate over there, and then they join up. So there isn't any like new developments or new faith coming, and people coming to a church for the first time. It's kind of, I don't know, I use the analogy. It's like just rearranging the furniture on the Titanic, So they're moving people over here and they're moving around. So that's happening in a regular church plant. With the mission status that they're going to do with us now is that they know that new people are coming and they might have never been to church before. And it gives them an opportunity to grow in their faith and learn about church and know that it takes funds, and they know that giving to the Lord's work is part of what they should be doing. So that helps them to learn. So over an extended period of time, we'll grow in hopefully have a nice group here, 7 to 10 years down the road. But one history thing about Albuquerque, with the Methodist Church only, in 150 years, they have never had a congregation for Native American people in the city limits. Yeah, so I've been telling them that, and they've come on board, and they really want to make that change and make something happen differently here. So good things are happening and coming down our way, so I just want to make you aware. And so Laura and I and Brian will get that word out to you, so we'll let you know how you can be a part of that too. So that's all I have right there. So we'll get a song.
Yeah, and so if you want to give online on our Facebook page, there's a link right at the top of it, and that'll take you to a PayPal interface so that you can give, with a debit or credit card or some other digital means. And then I'm going to put up our QR code blanket, and you can scan that QR code, and that'll take you to the same PayPal interface. You don't have to be part of PayPal. They just kind of manage the interface for us. And we're going to do another drum song, so anyone who wants to get on the drum can do that. And we're going to do the Jesus is Lord song by Jonathan Miracle. Would any of you find a paper helpful, or will you not be able to read it?
Yes, so here,
The Yahweh, Yahweh.
We should round up, but never else.
Yeah, you can stick one on the ground there between
and
you
then
guys.
later, Jonathan Miracle has all of his songs on YouTube. You can Google Jonathan Miracle and you can just see song after song. And those are the ones we sing on the drum. And you can learn them as you go.
And then this one starts with side sticks, and then it goes to a normal beat, and then it goes to a louder beat, and then but yeah. So yeah. Yahweh, Yah, Yah, Yahweh, Yah, Yahweh, Yah, Yah, Yahweh, Yah, hey, hey, Yah, hey, yo. Yahweh, Yah, Yah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yah, way, hey, Yah, hey, yo.
kidding. When somebody overbeats, everybody stops, and then somebody and they gotta buy a pizza. It used to be $5, so it's gone up.
Inflation.
Yeah.
There'll be,
I was getting a little cheap.
there'll be a check in the mail.
Sponsored by Native Intervarsity.
Into reading Creator's words. And we are going to be calling on our sister, Heavenly Scott, wherever you are in person, okay? So, Heaven, I think she chose out the scripture for today, so I'm excited to hear what she has to say. Eh? Hopefully y'all can hear me. I had to take out my headphones, but yeah, so as soon as we're ready, I'm gonna hand it over to Heaven to read Creator's words today. So go ahead and take it away, Heaven.
I'm going to read from Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 3 through 23. All blessings belong to the Great Spirit, who is the Father of Creator sets free Jesus. All blessings belong to the Great Spirit, who is the Father of Creator sets free Jesus. From the spirit world above, he has gifted us all spiritual blessings found in the Chosen One. In the same way, before he made all things, and because of his great love, the Maker of life chose to make us pure and holy in his eyes. He also decided ahead of time through Creator Sets Free Jesus to take us into his family, fulfilling his purpose and making his heart glad. This great kindness he has shown us brings honor to him and gives us a highly honored place together with his much-loved Son. By paying the highest price, offering his own lifeblood, the Chosen One released us from a great captivity caused by our bad hearts and broken ways. He poured out all of this overflowing kindness on us, showing us how wise and understanding he is. It makes Creator's heart glad to show us the hidden wisdom of his plan for all of creation, now made clear through the Chosen One. This is how Creator brings all things to completion. He makes all things in the spirit world above and on the earth below come together and find their full meaning and original purpose in the Chosen One. The Chosen One has shared with us all that he has been given. This was Creator's plan that he decided long ago to accomplish, a wise and powerful vision he saw within himself. Creator is working out all details, fitting everything into his purpose, so that we, who are from the tribes of wrestles with Creator, who have first put our hope in the Chosen One, will bring praise and honor to him. And now not only we, but all other nations who have heard the truth of this message can participate in his plan. This is the good story that sets all people free. When we trusted in the Chosen One, he marked us as his own by giving his promised Holy Spirit. He did this to make sure that we, the people he paid a great price for, will receive all that he has planned for us. This brings great praise and honor to him. Ever since I heard of the trust you have in Creator Sets Free Jesus and your deep love for all of his holy people, I have never stopped giving thanks for you, remembering you when I send my voice to the Great Spirit. I pray that the Father of honor and beauty, who is the Great Spirit of our honored chief, Creator Sets Free, Jesus, will gift you with his spirit of wisdom to know him deeply and understand his mysterious ways. I am asking him to shine his light into your hearts so you can see clearly the hope he has chosen us for and the beautiful treasure he has in us, his holy people. I pray he will show how much greater his power is for all who put their trust in him. This is the same power he used when he brought the chosen one back to life from the dead and gave him the seat of honor at his right hand. This is a high spiritual place, greater than all rulers, authorities, and powers. It is a place higher and stronger than all names that can be named, not only in this world, but also in the one that is coming. This is how he brought all things, seen and unseen, under his loving power and made him the elder of his sacred family. This sacred family is his body on earth, made whole by the one who gives everything and everyone their full meaning and purpose.
Hey, thank you, Heaven. Thank you. That was very beautiful. Hey, and to see you in person makes it even better. Hey. All right. So now I'm gonna hand this over to Brian for our first centering or stillness time. This will help us to all prepare to hear for what our brothers and sisters from Native Intervarsity has to share about the Listen Project. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over to Brian, who will render us a Native American flute song, so we can go into our feature presentation. Eh? So go ahead and take it away, Brian.
Pleasure of introducing our folks from InterVarsity here. Just a little history. Over the years here now, I've gotten to know many of the InterVarsity folks, some who have already transitioned out and got into other ministries as well. But Cortland and Rashawn here, they're very active in the Southwest here, and there are others all across the country. I'm working with a group right now of the InterVarsity folks who are going to be hosting what they call Would Jesus Eat Fried Bread Conference. And it's going to be hosted in Albuquerque, and we're going to be like the host ministry for them too. So we'll be in our setting here. There'll probably be 130 some students here that will get a chance to minister with, feed, have fun with, and they'll also be doing a lot of programming at their other location right now. So they'll also be working with the SIPI school as well. So that's still in process. Hoping some doors will open there, but that's all going to be happening in the future. So getting to know the InterVarsity folks, as an older guy here, it's just like it's so cool to watch things happen among the young folks. Because at one time I was there, and now I'm here, and I'm with a bunch of other guys and gals that are working at the other end of the ministry world now too. So there's all kinds of places to be part of God's work, from young on into older life here. So it's really cool. Just one thing about Good Medicine Way. If you're new to Good Medicine Way, we do just to introduction, we do an in-person. We have roughly 20-some people in here right now in person, and we have had a crowd that big when the United Methodists sent their cabinet folks down here. We had a really big group here at that time. But 20-some, we will run smaller sometimes, but we still go on because we have the people that are on the Zoom. That'll range from the ones you see here now to 18 to 20 sometimes. The maximum we've had on there, I think, was with Christina. A couple years ago, she came on and she was like 40 to 41 people that came on that listened to her talk. And so it ranges quite a bit. But that's only the tip of it. So we do the in-person, we do a Zoom format, and we incorporate the people from the Zoom format as part of our service, as you've seen already. And then when we go into the Q&R time, we have people that comment and have questions that'll come up on Facebook Live. So we have Facebook Live also happening at the same time, and then YouTube Live too. So there's 4 different venues that this message is getting out. And most of the people that respond, they're people that listen to this program all next week. They comment, they come back on. There's some people that I've never met would send me a message just like that. What you talked about last night was just like what I needed to hear. There's a lady in New York. She says, I can't miss it. I feel like I'm really going to miss something if I don't listen to you. And she'll do it while she's doing laundry, so have her headphones on. She says, I just take the time to listen to the message that you have there. So just to let you know that we have a talk, and then we have a Q&R time, or question and response time afterwards. And that's what we try to do here, and it's really taken off. We have over 100-some videos that you can click on, and you can trace them back and see a topic that might catch your eye, and click on it. And if you don't want to hear the whole the whole program, you can take that little dot and you can slide it over till you see the speaker, and then you can just listen to the talk that night. So I want to turn it over to these folks here. They're going to share with us what Listen is about. And what about even our guests? I think I mentioned I was kidding with them that I coached them up here a little bit. So let them share what Listen means and what those participants are doing with you. So you guys got it.
Oh, yes. Well, okay. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, no, so Rashawn delegated me to talk. He has taken a vow of silence. Post Listen Project as it goes, it moved him so much. But just joking right there. So yeah, no, so we've been, we've been actually doing, this is kind of the 3rd iteration of the Listen Project with now totally, as I like to put, totally in native control, totally in native programming in person. During the pandemic, we did have several virtual Listen projects. But then last year, we did our first back in person with a small group with some East Coast native friends of ours. Very different guys, just want to say. Eastern natives, very interesting. What people like, we're here with Casey. So, but joking aside, the acronym has always kind of meant to learn and to serve in Navajo land. And part of the vision has always been to hear from the people who are doing ministry around, with as guests, as friends, as relatives of the Navajo, but also all the people, in this area, to hear what God is doing. I think there's often a narrative. There's just a story that happens, in larger ministry circles where it's like the Indians need our help. It's like, the Indians need help. They need to be poured into. They need to go. Things right there. But one thing that we learned very early on is that, God's already working there. If God is who He says He is, that He's already there. And so our goal has always been to find that, and we find that by listening. And sometimes that listening is balm to our soul, very relaxing, very soothing. That was true for me. Other words have been kind of, maybe a little bit grating. Iron kind of hitting iron tends to spark a lot, so that causes a lot of challenge. And other words have caused us to listen more. And there's a lot of things that I'm kind of thinking now that, there's just things that I didn't know. There's just ways that we haven't seen the whole picture yet. And I was just kind of thinking, about chapter 12 through 13 in Corinthians and how that's about the body. And oftentimes I think our thoughts are that, I think the church in our country for a long time is everyone's been well, everyone will do its own thing. The eyes will look that way. The hands will do their own thing. The left hand will do different from the right. The left leg will try to go an opposite direction than the left. And so as a result, we kind of wonder why things are slowing down. As you said earlier, rearranging chairs on the Titanic. There seems to be movement, but no real progress. And I think it's because we've just forgotten things, and we've forgotten that God is already at work. And so I often tell people, the ministry's creators. I just work here. But I think also I wanted to give the floor to Sarah Nicole for any of her reflections from this week, as she's coming on staff now. We've just I spent the spring working on getting her hired, so.
So, Yate and OCO, my name's Sarah. I was born in Michigan and also lived in Nevada a lot. I currently live in New Mexico. I am of English descent and born for the Cherokee people, the Anianwea, and my maternal grandfather is English, and my paternal grandfather is Scottish and English. My daughter is also of Dene, and her clan is Badantni Bashishtin, and she's also Apache and Latina. So my daughter joined us for the first half of the Listen Project, and then she went with my family for the other part. And I think the most important aspect of this has been getting to really get to know elders in the community and building relationships. I've gotten to hear from people that I had heard of but not gotten to get to know and hear their story in full. And I also found so many people that were willing to be a part of my and my daughter's life. Her clan family, the Batahni, kind of came out of the woodwork in the midst of this and were willing to be supportive and encouraging in a way that I had heard about things of supporting clan members or valuing your family and but I hadn't seen it in action, and I've gotten to see it the last couple of weeks, and it's really beautiful. And when we were talking about creation earlier with Rashawn, something that stood out is almost every single day there's been something to do with a cricket. They've shown up, there's been stories about them, there's been testimonies and poems about them, and I think I need to do some more reflecting on the fullness of that, but it has shown up every single day that there's been crickets for us. The elders need to be heard, and I'm thankful that we've had a chance to bring other people in and let their voices be heard and provide that avenue for things that otherwise people just wouldn't know or haven't taken the time to know that that is a better approach than what has been done by the church in the past. So I'm thankful for everyone that got to come and open their hearts to learn new things and do hard things. It's been a blessing to get to know you guys.
First group, we'll just kind of. Remember, you volunteered to come.
Well,
大家好. Hi everyone. My name is Anna Lee. My Chinese name is Li Meihua. Yeah, my parents immigrated to Houston, Texas from southern China. I was born and raised in Houston. I live there now. Yeah, originally the lands of the Karankawa, Sana, and Atakapa Ishak. So I'm really grateful to be here. Yeah, I've never gotten to tune into a service, so glad to be here in person. It's my first time doing the Listen program in person. I tuned in 2021. We did it briefly and online, and really received a lot even then. Had to come a little late, but grateful for, yeah, kind of like Sarah Nicole said, being together with the group. Yeah, I know a lot of the journey of doing anything is really shaped by the group you're with, and I know that Creator set us apart, you know, even though we've had people coming and going at different times. Yeah, there's been so many experiences. Every day is so full, in good ways and in tiring ways. Yeah, growing up in Texas and Asian American, I think just had never really gotten to be on a reservation before. And so getting to be on the Navajo res and also visit the Hopi reservation, it's really powerful hearing from elders, being able to participate in a mutton harvest and yeah, be part of a family. Yeah, I think just always wanting to learn what it means to come in a good way. I was telling Rashawn and Cortland, like, yeah, I've visited parts of the Southwest before, but never really spent, I don't know, just different things have shown me, yeah, how many things I don't know about the Southwest. Texas is pretty different, even the climate. Yeah, so grateful for this space to ask lots of questions, hear lots of stories, yeah, and just let Creator move, and excited for, yeah, just even things that I've heard or learned this week to keep growing in me, even things that maybe didn't make sense right now but will make sense later. So grateful for how I've been received, and yeah, the chance to listen, learn, and serve here. So thank you.
Hi there, I'm Charles. I live near Boulder, Colorado, and attend church in Boulder at a church called Grace Commons, which used to be First Presbyterian Church in Boulder. I'm here with two of my colleagues from the church, Rich Bueller, who will talk next, and Trent, who will come up here in just a moment. But I'm a part of our missions committee at the church, as is Rich. And we got to know Cortland and Rashawn a couple of years ago as a result of a referral from some other InterVarsity missionaries that we support. And we've really gotten close to Rashawn and Cortland because they've got such a clear vision of what they're trying to accomplish. They're excited about what they're doing, and they are making a great inroad for the kingdom. It's a delight to work with you guys. So we got word about this Listen Project, which we had no idea what that was about, but we knew that anything that Cortland and Rashawn were involved with, we wanted to be involved with. So we had no idea what we were going to encounter when we came. It's been an eye-opening experience, I'll put it that way. It's been a bunch of surprises, both pleasant and anguishing. I guess the things that I've just really been enthused and excited about are the disciples that I have met along the way. People that are on fire for Jesus and that know how to convey the message and are working diligently in their tribes to make disciples. There are some things that have been disappointing to me. I think the main thing is that of all the places where we've been, the churches we've attended, the meetings we've gone to, there are almost no men involved. I mean, when I say almost no men, I mean almost no men. And I'm concerned about that. I think the church everywhere needs more men involved in ministry. I guess another thing that was disappointing to me is to see the amount of, I don't know that I would call it antagonism per se, but the infighting among churches on the missions, or on the reservations, excuse me. And the fact that it seems like that antagonism relates to practices and not what we worship. It seems like people, the ministers that I've heard cited, say, you can't do it that way, you have to do it our way. Instead of coming together and say, we need to worship the God that made us, the Creator, and the Son that sets us free. I would just like to see more unity among the pastors. I would like to see churches join together in mutual prayer. But I'm encouraged. There's so many good things going on. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this thing develops in the future and seeing how our Native American friends develop in their worship. So I don't know what else to say, but that's it. That's what I have.
Thank you, Charles. My name's Richard. I'm the oldest member of the group. I gotta tell you that I have learned about the richness of the Navajo people and the culture. We have done so much as a nation. There is so much fighting going on in the world. There's so much bad history. But I see the love in this church and among the people. To see the power of the Holy Spirit moving among the faces and in the hearts of the young and the old is truly something that warms my heart. And to know that God is working among the people, among the ministers, among the missionaries that we have gotten to know. To take a risk and to come out and share the good news of the gospel with others. To see how the love of God can change people's, no matter who they are. It brings glory to God and warms my heart. I truly am overjoyed that I'm able to join this group. Would you like to share?
And swap out.
Listen, this year has been so much fun. We've met so many loving people who put us in their family. We went to Bluff and we met Margaret, and she showed up to have breakfast with us before we left in the morning. And it was like her presence summoned the family. And Walter came and sang for us, and Diane, the hospitality manager, showed up, and we got to see everyone off. And it was like, you don't really realize your chains until you move, and you also don't realize how big your family is until you really understand what being a good relative is. And so I've just been really blessed by Listen. I remember Irene said this thing that her dad said over and over again to her when she was little, and it was, who can comprehend God's wisdom? Or who can comprehend Creator's wisdom? And she said that he said it almost like with disdain, like he's not stupid, you know? And I think sometimes we think we're smarter than we are, and we forget how smart God is, you know? and he has a funny way of showing us. And that's kind of what I learned on Listen this year. So thanks.
Hi, my name's Trent Gruber. I go to CU Boulder. The Listen Project has been, well, a really great opportunity to listen. A lot of times I want to direct things and inquire, but the important thing is really building community and listening to where people are at, and making relationships that can continually be invested in. I've made relationships on this trip that I look forward to revisiting in person and on the phone. It was great. I got to partake in my first powwow. That was great. I did a little intertribal dancing. It was very fun. Everybody was very welcoming. It's great to see God move out here. I've been welcomed as a part of the family everywhere I've been, especially at Grandma Angie's, at the sheep butcher, and Maestro Dentist, showing me how it's done, giving me a couple tips, and great people out there. I got to hear some really powerful testimonies on the trip. Very top. And which is really encouraging. There is a problem with leadership out here. There aren't enough natives stepping up into leadership positions. Something I noticed was that sometimes natives would hesitate to pray. They're like, hey, that pastor over there, that's his job. That's not what I do. And so I think that's something that we could all pray into. Another problem that seemed to be reoccurring is drug addiction, alcoholism, men really being lost. And that's another thing to pray into is for these tribes to really build up strong male leaders to lead in church and family, and not in a way that is overbearing and rude, but in a way that's gentle and does honor to the women, and is full of service, sacrificial service, the kind that Christ did for us. And if we could all pray into that, that'd be great.
Can I have the staff come back up again? So I want to just also introduce this, all seated here. This is now your Four Corners area team, an all-native area team in InterVarsity. And when we were on top of the Moki Dugwee, we were praying, and because when you're on top of this high mesa in Utah, you can see the mountains of Colorado, you can see the mountains in New Mexico, you can see Lukachuka. Lukachuka, and then you can see you're in Utah. And so we were just up there praying, and we were praying for the people. We were praying for the people, and it was a little bit dark and stormy. And as we were praying there, just this wonderful, wonderful thing was just happening. We were just rejoicing, but we were praying for not only what most people would call the mission. We were praying for the people. We were praying for the people that they would know their Creator, as Lakota believers would say, that Jesus is our forever sun dancer. He can take it. And one lesson that I've learned, so I'll just pass the mic along down, and I'll get Rashawn the last word, is that when we were with the Southern Utes, we were with a church that I helped preach at, called the Maranatha Church. And just old folks, and they knew that I was native and could preach the gospel, so they had me come. And I was in their museum, and they had the veterans display up there, and the Utes are very proud of the service that they've rendered. And one of the old timers who was in Vietnam talked about how in that war the Indians always took the point, and taking the point means that you are the first one. You're the first one, you're the first one. And he said he was proud to do that because what he was stalking in the mountains, he just knew Like, they could apparently even see the landmines and stuff like that. And it almost bounced off me. And, I've been, and then we go to Bluff and Jack, another, he's the interim pastor at the St. Christopher's, center up there. And he's a Vietnam vet, a Marine as well. So I thought of you, Casey. And he told us half of his platoon was Indians. They were from all over. And he told me that they also took the point. This is his exact words, is that the Indians were always in the front. They always sent the Mexicans underground to do the tunnel riding, and then the whites and blacks followed behind. And I thought it was strange that I heard that twice. Because one of the things that I've been reflecting on is what's my role as a leader? What am I called to be in kind of this movement? And I always thought I was just I didn't necessarily think I was just visiting, but I just didn't know. I just kind of I've decided to follow and I just didn't know. But I felt that was actually a real strong confirmation for me as a leader, as someone who speaks for the people, but who also speaks this good story, and who speaks this good story as a good story. And we just finished doing Psalms and Proverbs in the First Nations version, so that should be published by summer of next year. But I'm just thinking about how God keeps sending me into these places, and I think it's because I'm realizing that I think that's the role of the Indians in the church. I think we think of ourselves, maybe even in this room or online, we think of ourselves as small. We think of ourselves as little, but I always think that God doesn't choose the people that we think. There's always that point. So I'm realizing that might be my byword for this next season of my life, is that, Indians take the point. Indians lead the way.
One last reflection of this this time. It's been on my heart since I had my daughter almost 12 years ago, but I had never gotten the chance to really talk to elders about it. It's just been on my heart, something I've prayed for years, and that is only the elders in a community have the right and the purpose and the privilege to pray for and discern how God is showing up in a ceremony or a medicine. And it is very important that they take that responsibility seriously, because if they choose not to teach their language or prayers or songs, then they're gone. And there's nothing to pass to our children. And when you lose those, you lose who God made you to be. And God put it on my heart that He made every single one of us for a reason. In our families, in our tribes, in our places, with our language in this time and space, it has a purpose that God wants to use. So on this trip, I got to encourage quite a few elders to not listen to outside sources all the time, and to discern for themselves and pray, because they're the ones that were raised with those prayers and ceremonies. They're the ones who have the right and the privilege now as grandparents to decide what they're passing to their children and their community. And I told them to talk to their children, to write things down, to record them, and make sure that the good things that God gave their tribe, the gifts that God gave their tribe, are kept. Yes, there are always things to let go of. There's things to change and develop. But there's also good gifts from Creator for every single people group. And He made us with a purpose. And it was very exciting to me to finally get to say that to quite a few elders and say, you have a good purpose. And I hope that they have the courage to follow through with that, even in the face of challenging people in their church community sometimes, or their tribal people sometimes.
I forgot to introduce myself. So, Yat chik adosha share Rashan around this year. Doing in the Shiniki has been shown to get in there, but she's teen. Twitch is a change, catching a chanale, cut a letter to the net his teenishly. Nanijin A. Shinasha, I don't let it, Farmington A. Kiwit. So, yeah, I just want to be able to just thank you, Casey, thank you, Laura, thank you, the church family, and Brian. Wish your wife was here. I don't know where she's at. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for just having us to share. And I think one thing about this is that if some people don't know about what Listen is all about, it started in the early 2000s, where Tony Begay got to be able to learn more about InterVarsity, and he was invited to be the first Native staff through InterVarsity. So he was mostly the staff in the Rocky Mountain region wanted to see if how can they learn more about working with Native students or working with Native people. So he invited them to go to a sheep camp for 6 weeks to go in the sheep camp for the Chusca Mountains, and then while they were doing that, they got to be able to learn and understand more of like the Native livelihood, of like just being with the people. And when Cortland and I were asked to be able to, and also another staff, Heather, former staff, we were just wondering like we don't know, like we don't have time to be on the reservation. Well, we do have time to be on the reservation for a month, but to be able to invite people and to know like what does it mean to listen. So I just thought like how can maybe we can be able to invite people to my community and to ask other people in my community to speak, because I feel like they always know about missionaries coming on the reservation, but at the same time like what if the people we invite will be able to hear their stories about their experiences with Christianity. So it all started with that, where we ask people to be able to share their stories, but also after COVID, like we just started to know more people throughout the Four Corners, and I was surprised at like how many people that we got to ask and be invited, because the Gallup and Flagstaff area, we were just worried of like where we're going to stay at because we were just like we were just praying and just wondering like where we're going to stay at. But I feel like Creator like blessed us with that, blessed us to places and partnerships that we got to make. But also like I think it's interesting because most of the people that we got to talk to and got to be able to hear their stories, it always points towards you, Casey. I think Casey like don't know about Nate's or don't know about Casey, and sometimes like throughout our journey, like either know either one. so is something that I feel like Creator, even though Richard came here and he's been just through his experiences and his words definitely spread out throughout the Four Corners, and I think the works is still going on, and people still remember, so people still understand like what does it mean to be Native and to be a follower of Jesus. So yeah, I just want to say thank you, Casey, for all the works that you're doing, because the people that we get to meet and talk to, they always admire of what Nate is doing, what you're doing too as well. So yeah, I hit Casey for just keep doing the work, and I hope we can be more inspired and others be more inspired of this, continue to work on that. So yeah, I just want to and it was our first time doing it for 2 weeks, so we'll think about like how it was a lot, but at the same time it was blessing. It was a blessing to be able to meet a lot of people and do as much, go to a lot of places that we got to go to. So yeah, so we're thankful to have this here.
Thank you. Take it back over, Pedadaka.
Alright, so since we're able to hear from our brothers and sisters in Native Intervarsity about the Listen Project, we're gonna go into our silent reflection time. Okay, we're gonna hand it over to Brian to render us a Native American salute again, so we can gather some of our questions, some of our comments, and some of our thoughts on what was shared. So go ahead and take it away, Brian.
All right, so the floor is open for questions or comments.
I'll start us off. I got 6 questions. We've been involved with you a little bit here and there. Well, you've been doing the
Where's the microphone?
scoot up here.
Closer, hold it.
You can always scoot up too.
Here's the front row here, folks.
Second row and third row can't hear you.
I know.
And we're the ones that need it the most.
Just take the mic out.
All right.
I've been told.
Thank you for those instructions.
Anytime.
No, all the time. Tell you a little joke. Get things started here. Interview, there was a Navajo woman and a Navajo man standing there, and she was all dressed in Navajo, and he was there with a cowboy hat and cowboy shirt. And the interviewer was asking her, asking the man, is it true that the Navajo men are really controlled by the women? And the woman says, no, he don't. Yeah, I'll have to post that when I see that again. Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's a matrilineal society, so yes, there is a lot of that permeating throughout the nation there, and yes, men really do need to step up all around. And I've noticed that in my journeys is that there is just not the leadership growing at all in Native men. Some women, more women than men, but Native men are just not stepping up like you would think into ministry roles. It's just there. It's just a vacuum there. When I travel, there's lots of not native, but non-native people at these conferences, but there's no Native men that are stepping up to get involved in being pastors. So I have some ideas on that, and I share them when I talk with other folks. But here with you all, just to share these, I wrote them off the top of my head here. How do we at Good Medicine Way, how do we get involved with you? I'll just run down them. And how can we help? Like we are doing right now. How can we continue to help you? Can we journey with you? Like you guys you're traveling with them. How can we journey with you? And now with our growing influence and people giving, we may be in a place that how can we help scholarship other folks to do what you're doing? So ease that burden, just free you up so that they can take the time off in the summer to go without the burden of, I don't have the money to go. Let's take care of that. Let's just make it easy for them. So people give to us, and someone once told me, it says, growing churches give, and giving churches grow. So that's something that we could think about, how we could be involved. So what do you think of those questions?
So Rashawn's vow of silence has started again.
I wrote it in kind of like a hieroglyphics.
Yep, there's resource, which I think is Rashawn. Oh yeah, you're very much doctor. So we were driving away from Rob McIntosh, or according to Charles, Rod McIntyre. So we learned a lot from Daniel, the book of Daniel, where Daniel says, "Incline my ear to me, O Lord," and Charles was like, "Oh, I know what it means to incline my ear." We were driving away from his church in this service, and it was the evening, beautiful time. It's the time I love driving. And we were talking, and this Warren Zevon song comes up, and it's Lawyers, Guns, and Money. And I was thinking about, I was telling Anna that, Indians can do a lot with lawyers, guns, and money, in that order. I think, but joking aside, I think that notion of just kind of mutual support, I've always been glad to visit and to share virtually on Good Medicine Way. But I also think I do very much believe that there's a lot of things that we just haven't tapped into. There's something that happens when we step out in trust. I love the way the FNV talks about growing in trust, because faith is kind of a big word. It's a capital letter word, and it's a good word. I'm not saying it's a bad word, but it's like, well, what does it really mean? It's like, well, we trust Creator. We trust that He's going to follow through. I think that's a very simple theological precept. But as I reflect on that question, it's like, how can we help each other? It's like, I tell people, I'm always glad to find money to bring people on this. And I think our hope going forward is we're escalating up. We've been kind of tooling things, we've been figuring out, but we're trying to figure out ways to get as many people on this as possible. I think our cap is about 12 right now. We can make that work. There's folks who want to come and help us out. But I think allowing us to stay here is a really good place to start. But I think all three of us are folks that would love to share more and just kind of serve this church here by sharing online, just letting more people what we do, but also just being able to encourage. Because I think that's the thing, is that one thing that it's hard is that not a lot of people understand this yet. Not a lot of people get it. So as it goes forward, I'll answer like that. I think so first off, lawyers, guns, and money. Whoever's listening out there, a family on the reservation can do a lot with a lawyer, and then guns, and then money. So, but.
I agree with Cortland about lawyers, not the lawyers and the money, but I think just to be able to spend more time with you guys and to involve SIPI students, like the Southwest Indian Polytechnical Institute, as we're wanting to have the With Jesus He Freiburg conference, and I think to be able to host it there, but also to involve students, because when we were speaking, not speaking, but when Casey was speaking on campus, we were going to the bathroom in one of the buildings, and I was going to the bathroom, and I saw I saw one of the students, like we were trying to ask for water, and yeah, she showed us like where to get free water, and I was just talking with her about like what are you studying and how do you like this campus, and I think that's something that she was saying that she appreciates, like how not only how quiet it is at SIPI, but also how involved and free she feels to be on that campus, and I think that's something that as I have been involved to the American Indian Higher Education Consortium. I got to be able to meet a couple of SIPI students, and that's the one thing that I feel like that's, as we're college ministries, that's an opportunity that we want to involve more SIPI students to be here at Good Medicine Way, and if we continue we always ask for prayer to be able to work with Good Medicine Way to go on campus at SIPI as we're getting ready for what Jesus See Freiburg conference, but also to invite SIPI students to be involved with Listen, and most likely to do something either at SIPI or here. I feel like those are the places that I feel like creators working into that. So there's something going on that I feel like we're feeling, and also just with the with other Pueblo tribes that we want to be able to work with, and I think most of them are actually going to school at SIPI. So we want to be invited to their villages and to be able to listen to there too as well, because I feel like they have more stories about their area as well. So
I want a second prayer, praying for our teams, praying for our campuses and students, and then also for the campuses that are still being planted or replanted, the students that we're trying to build up and encourage at UNM Gallup and Navajo Tech, as well as Fort Lewis and San Juan College. Praying for our students on a regular basis is really important. And then also all three of us and our region has to raise funds for both ourselves and also the things that we do for students as like scholarships. So there are links and emails and ways to get a hold of us for being able to donate directly if the Lord leads you that way. And we're also developing, one of the things I'm working on developing is a specific wish list. So if there's a specific item on your heart to help with, for instance, first one that popped in my head is a complete set of butcher knives for when we do our harvest, so that we can have our own set of things to always take with us.
We've been looking in our borrowing.
Yes, but it'd be nice to have some things to take with us as well, to be effective. And so wish lists like that, if there's this particular item on your heart that, maybe we can serve the students this way, we look forward to having those kind of partnerships as well.
Yep. So just to kind of put just a dollar amount on that, because if there's anything I love talking about, it's talking about money. So for example, that was a joke, or was it? So as it goes, you're right. So to get a student on this, that cost is about $350 at full. $350 at full. We charge less for Native students. That's always the goal, because sometimes it's it's just harder, But there's always something happens when people give, and I never want to say no to someone to come because of money. I will gladly go out and search that money. I'll pass the hat around. I'll chortle. I'll cavort. I'll do what I need. Because I want people to experience this. And so I think that's just an example. I'm already working with our graphics guy. He's a guy who found us once again through the pandemic to begin the flyer for next year. And we want to also talk about that at WJEF. I want people to come in to hear the things that we've heard. So
through the questions.
Okay. Okay.
How do we get Good Medicine Way? Us here involved. And that's one. And how can we help you? No, can't make out that word. Can we journey with you? It's like some of us go with you while you're doing this, because we're helping you out now, but it'd be neat to go with you and see what you're doing, like your visitors are doing as well. Scholarships, I think that's something that we could work on. That we could, even now, I'm looking at our graphics guy, and we put a newsletter together. If he interviews you, you could be the topic of our next newsletter. That, what you did and what you're going through right now. So that's kind of like how we can get involved, basically. So the way Brian kind of moderates this is opens this up now for your questions to you.
Yeah, and I would definitely say, man, we always welcome to have you guys come and speak. You guys always share really awesome and thought-provoking things and challenging things. So yeah, Casey's usually the guy who does the scheduling. So but for sure, let's really be communicating with each other. Because I think there's a lot of ways that we can mutually help each other out. Like even I can think of, like, if you guys were doing an event somewhere and you want to be able to have a drum, you have a drum that we could, bring along and help us. So, I just think there's a lot of ways we could be helping each other more and working together more. We just need to talk about it. So yeah, sure. Nobody online yet. So any questions about it? In the back, Laura. Here, let's pass this mic back.
Everybody say, "Can hear you."
Hello.
What?
Oh, is it on?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to help answer Casey's question, how can Good Medicine Way assist, and give you examples of how we've assisted. And not only Good Medicine Way, but Mesa View United Methodist Church. So for instance, several weeks ago, Rashawn contacted us and had asked Casey and I if we would speak to the group. And we said, sure. And then from that conversation, it grew that the listening group was looking for a place to stay. And so Mesa View United Methodist Church has cots. And our former pastor had received some cots from, I think, a church in Las Cruces. And I don't remember what the quantity is. 20. So we have a set of cots. And so we thought, okay, we have cots and we have a facility here. Breakfast. They're going to spend the night here at Mesa View and have their cot set up in a couple of the rooms. And then the women of the church, Mesa View, said, we'll pitch in and provide breakfast. So tomorrow you're going to have breakfast. So I think, well, that's a cost savings for you. And then, let's see, they were meeting this afternoon at Sippy in the courtyard at 91, 95 degrees. And so Casey spoke first, and then when I arrived, like about 2 o'clock, I thought, this is heat stroke time. So basically I said, let's pack up and go to Mesa View, and we'll use one of the rooms where there's air conditioning. It's indoors, and get more comfortable than spending time outside. And yes, outside was great, but also in the location where Sippy's at, there's a lot of cottonwood trees. So you have all this fluff floating around. And so we came back here this afternoon. We used room D. We had an amazing time. And then we have potluck here. So there's rooms available. It's air conditioning. It's indoors. You've got breakfast. You've got a place to stay. People are contributing to the food. And then the second night that you stay here, that's when we heard there'd be a second night. We said, yeah, sure, we can work this out. And then the women of Mesa View said, well, we'll provide breakfast again Wednesday morning. So we'll be providing breakfast for you Wednesday morning. So those are a couple of examples that just came about. Some was spontaneous and it was amazing. And so as you plan next year and you're thinking of your different locations of where you want to travel, is ahead of time connecting to a contact person in each of those locations and plan out, these are some of the activities that we would like to do and how might you help us in these efforts. So I would suggest design your program, totally your program, and then contact us or the contact people and say, can you accommodate any one of these areas, so that we're not rearranging your schedule, but that we can help accommodate that. And then just doing some early planning. And like Casey said, it would be amazing to see more than what you have, and I know you have a cap, so you know, it's even starting now. If your cap is 12, we're going to shoot for 15, but we know 3 are going to drop off for whatever reason. I don't know. But, you know, start high and then see what the Lord plans from that. So I just wanted to say that's how we have accommodated and help assist, even with a couple weeks of planning and then on the spot, people just came and helped. And I do want to say Mesa View is such a giving, kind, loving congregation, and Good Medicine Way is part of Mesa View. Mesa View is a part of Good Medicine Way. So we're all teaming together, and this is an excellent way to support the efforts that you guys are doing. Thank you.
All right, go ahead and put a DACA.
All right. So first off, I've grown up with these 3 right here sitting at the front. I've grown up with them starting at Fort Lewis College. I met Sarah later, but I knew Cortland and Rashawn back when we were just little kids looking mean on campus. Just kidding. But anyway, if it hadn't been for the Listen Project being virtual, I would not have been connected with Good Medicine Way, because during one of those times when Rashawn had asked me to do a little presentation, Leah, Brian's woman, she suggested me to Good Medicine Way, and I was able to join and connect, and here we are, bringing our families together. So I'm very thankful for that. So going back to talking about the Listen Project, like during the years that Rashawn and Cortland had been putting it together, I wasn't able to attend in person because I didn't want to be out in the heat, and then I ended up having babies, so they didn't want to be out in the heat either. But my question is, what would you recommend to a first-time Listen Project attendee to know about, like, the trip across the land? What would you want them to know about their first time in the Listen Project or participating in the Listen Project? So that's my question to you guys. So.
Yeah, so we would invite them. Yeah, we would invite them to go through an application process, and then we would just get to hear their stories and get to know like their experiences, and also if they know like the traditional lands of where they're at. That's something that we not only we want to know, but also we just want to share that I guess like through the experiences of like going to an immersion like this, we I think next time we will want to be able to share that if they can be able to learn more about the Four Corners, but also that it's interesting because like our visitors from Boulder were asking good questions about like what can they read, what could they have researched before they actually came, and then we provided some recommendations on the spot. But I think that's something that we just want to like invite first time participants, that if they can be able to learn more about the Four Corners, but also that we would be able to give them the schedule ahead of time so they can learn more about like about these people that we asked, and they can look up their names and find out that like who where they're located, and whether they come from a church denomination or like what is their role within the communities. So this is something that we just we might be able to do next time, to invite them to maybe provide some literature, and also help them to be ready of this immersion this immersion project that we would just invite them to. So I think Cortland has some, or anybody.
So I wanted our first time, if there was like, we'll save this recording, but like, if our first time attendees to basically our group, just to offer one bit of advice on what to do to attend, yeah.
I guess it's my first time in person. I had attended online, but it's a little hard for me to think off the top of my head, since I have had connections with Native Intervarsity before the last few years. But I think, just learning more about the history of the Southwest. So one of the museums we went to, the Museum of Northern Arizona, that Cortland suggested, just to learn more about, the Colorado Plateau, whether it's like geologically, like anthropologically, about even just some brief things about like Navajo Nation, which of course if there's suggested resources, it might be less overwhelming, like things to read or watch or listen to. But I know, and some of it is just be ready to be a little confused, look up stuff on your own, and that's okay. You're not going to get everything the first time, you're not going to get every question answered, even if you do research beforehand. So some of it I think is a posture, even when you're here, just you're going to be confused, and that's part of the process of learning.
As a first-time member of the group, knowing that you are a vessel that God has created, you have leaders that have experience. You have people that are very knowledgeable in InterVarsity. It's not the first time I've worked with InterVarsity, because coming from New York City, I got to work with the president of the 5 boroughs. So I know the work of InterVarsity and the great work that they do on college campuses. But this group, and being involved in Native ministry, was quite an opening, an eye-opener for me. I was totally ignorant, and therefore you need to listen. You need to trust. And it helped me learn quite a lot. And I'm very grateful for it.
Well, since my tribe comes from County Cork, Ireland, I have absolutely no idea of what's going on around here. So I came to listen, but I was listening from total ignorance. I had no idea what I was listening to. Rashawn hit the nail on the head that it would have been nice to have a little bit of background on some of the major issues that we would be introduced to or need to face up to when we got here. A couple I can think of is just the Navajo Nation. I never even heard of the Navajo Nation. Boarding school issues. I didn't know that was an issue. I thought the boarding schools are what the rich people sent their kids to. I could go down a whole list, but just basically giving us a little bit of guidance about things we might get up to speed on before we started listening would have been helpful. That was the main thing. I think I just came from a situation of absolute ignorance. Oh, I did think of one other thing though. One thing in the listening episodes is that coming from County Cork, sometimes the way information is related is different, and I'll relate it to a college experience more than anything. There are college courses that you take that are lectures, followed by Q&A. There are college courses that are seminars where everybody talks. There are discussion classes. So it would have been helpful to know what the environment is that we were walking into in each particular episode. Sometimes all of my colleagues here will admit that I stuck my foot in my mouth on numerous occasions, and I could have done better. And my apologies to you once again for that. So anyway, that's something that might have been helpful to know about.
I think we went to Kayenta and we met a man named Jarvis, and he was talking about building a township, and it was a really interesting conversation. But I remember he said, just do it. And then Cortland expanded on that by saying, just do it in a good way. And I think, like, for me, being prepared for Listen was kind of like just hyping myself up a little bit. Like, just do it. Just do it. Because there are 1,000 reasons why you cannot do it, you know? There's 1,000 reasons why you can say you don't have the time and you can't leave the kids and you can't afford to take the time off work. And really all of those things are probably true. Like, I am gonna be a little bit broke and things might be a little bit rough, but in the end, like, this was so much of an experience of living my life and listening to other human beings that are living their life. And that is such a huge source of encouragement. So like when I think about like how to get ready or how to prepare yourself for Listen, I would say that it's like prepare yourself to live your life outside of how people tell you should live your life. And like that involves stepping into new places and having difficult conversations and understanding that like building healthy relationships will cause you to have difficult conversations, but at the end of those difficult conversations and new experiences, you'll realize that like living your life was the most important thing. So
you ought to bring cash money so you can support all the vendors and artists and churches along the way. That way you won't have to get Brother Rashawn to buy you popcorn.
That was awkward.
Yeah, but he did it. Also, every opportunity for every activity that comes your way, just participate with an open and humble heart. It's an honor to have these cultures share with us these things that are very intimate, and treat everybody with the respect that they deserve, and like the family of Christ that they are.
Question from the virtual world out there. Anything? Yeah. There's no other comments or questions. We can move towards our closing song, which is a round dance. So we can get up and we can make some. I'll lead, and maybe we'll do follow the leader kind of a.
So do you have one more quick question then? For those who are interested in participating in the Listen Project, would you contact like Rashawn or Portland, or would you like go through Native Intervarsity on your campus, or is there another way that you can get a hold of the information to be a part of it? I'm sorry, I can't hear you talking.
Oh, can you hear me? So yeah, if you go on nativeIntervarsity.org and then go to events and click on listen, you can be able to find all the information there. And then when you click on the register now, you can be able to find our contacts there. But yeah, it will be our emails, rashawn.ramon@intervarsity.org or cortland.hopkins@intervarsity.org. So, and then also Sarah email will be on there pretty soon. But yeah, this is just to be able to contact us through email, and then I usually respond pretty quick through email as well.
University relatives, and to hear their stories, and a few of our own people who also went to the Listen Project for the first time. So that must have been a really great experience, being out there and getting sunburned. Just getting, getting caught in a dust storm. Just kidding. But yes, thank you again for Native Intervarsity and the Listen Project for sharing your stories tonight. And as Uncle has said it, if there are no more questions, no more questions among the people. Are there any more? No? Okay, then we're going to go ahead and go into our closing round dance, which Uncle Casey has said he follow the leader, follow Uncle Casey. Just kidding. And then after that, we'll be calling on Namar Newson for our sending off blessing. So go ahead and everybody get set up for that round dance. Hey, I want to hear y'all sing again. Hey.
Hold hands, you're going to follow around. Some coaches call it snake dance, and some coaches say, oh, I would never dance a snake dance. But, follow the leader dance. So, yeah. And you can go in here.
Yes, sir! Got our own choir! Yes, sir! Got our own choir!
we're going to ask our brother Namar, who will send us off with a prayer here. So I just kind of let him in there, Petadaka. That's okay. Namar, are you there? You're there twice. Hey.
Do you all hear me okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, yes, I'm definitely here.
Barstow, California.
Let's go. My goodness, sweet goodness, what a blessing tonight has been. Yes. Just so you know, I became familiar with InterVarsity while I was in seminary, Asbury Theological Seminary, the same seminary where some good folks, Richard Twist, Randy Woodley, Terry LeBlanc, Wendy Peterson, and others were. Some of our great native scholars from Nate's. So yes, so I've always been a great admirer of InterVarsity. So thank you all for showing up. Thank you for everything that you have shared. Really appreciate it. And thank you all for coming through, coming out. Great to see my family again. My family's out there. Always great to see Pops, but great to see Mom and my sister Shondine, my brother Bajo Joni. Oh, how I missed you all. Missed you both. All right. Now, without further ado, let us pray. Creator sets free Jesus. Oh, Creator, Heavenly Father, in the name of your Son, Creator sets free Jesus by means of your Holy Spirit, your great Spirit. Thank you for tonight's fellowship. Thank you for our brethren of InterVarsity to be here and to share, to give us words of wisdom and to remind us that you are there. While we have been taught that our red brethren need discipleship, need to be saved, need to be taught, so forth and so on, need God, but yet you are there, you have always been there, and I do believe by faith that your red men, your men particularly, will rise up and share the good news, will share the story of the good road, giving us that great food for life. So I thank you for what's going to happen. Thank you for you will deliver, you will provide, you will set free, you will reveal your great word. Thank you for using InterVarsity. Thank you for the ministry that they do on the college campuses. A tender age for many folks who are trying to find themselves, trying to learn about life, trying to learn about who they are, what their purposes are, and where they should go, what they should do. Continue to bless them. I believe you are blessing them right now. So I pray that you will continue to bless them, continue to use them, continue to use this great fellowship of Good Medicine Way to be able to serve alongside the brethren within InterVarsity. And thank you for the growth of Good Medicine Way. And I do praise you for the growth that is able to provide financial assistance and scholarships to help others grow, to help others serve. Great you are, O Creator, greatly to be praised. Great is your power, infinite is your wisdom, and the great provider that you are, O Jireh. And may you continue to fill us with your great spirit so that we can continue to come together as a great brethren and that we will share the good news. We will share the great story of your good road and that it will continue to spread throughout Albuquerque and throughout all the different college campuses that InterVarsity serves, and that beyond there, equipping and developing leaders on the college campuses, equipping and developing leaders of our men, our tribal men here, our red men here, the men to serve. Thank you for our women who are serving. Thank you for the great leadership that we see from our women, from our sisters. The word is spreading, and may your church grow. And thank you for the growth. And thank you for the continued growth that will come about in the future as the leaders will rise. Keep us safe and protected from harm's way. Praying for safe travels for our brethren of InterVarsity and others. who are visiting from elsewhere, thank you for being the great protector you are. Thank you for your love. Thank you. In your holy name, Creator sets free. Oh, Jesus. I hope, may it be so.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Wonderful night. Beautiful night. Thank you for singing on the drum. All the. Thank you for everyone coming and being here. Thank you, Namar, for your blessing. Thank you for everyone, the drum group that sang. Always good to bring that out here. And last time we brought it out was when you guys were here. Yeah, back there in the basement of that church over there. Yeah.
That was a place that had character.
Yeah, kind of character we can leave. It was cold in the winter and hot in the summer. So now we got this air conditioner blowing in.
I had visions in that building. But maybe not the good kind.
Not the good kind, yeah. Especially being, just the image of being put down in a basement at a church. That, the little boarding school thing started going all, at least I wasn't handcuffed, So, thank you all. Have a good night. We're going to clean up. We're going to tear down. Takes us a little while to do all this, but it's worth it. Say goodbye, everybody. Say goodbye, everybody. Thank you, Dave. Dave, when he's on there, he's like Mr. He's got a link. He'll find a link and put it in every time you come up with something. Yeah. Thank you, Dave.
It's like our friend Dave has to
But yeah, so we'll see you guys. Have a safe trip. I love you all. I'll talk to you all soon.
Love you more. Mm-hmm.